Hi guys, thanks for joining us again on the channel. So, there's a reason I haven't talked about this one until now. It's not because I didn't want to talk about it, but because I needed to get it right. And now the wait's over. But before we get into that, don't forget to check this exclusive discount for it. You can find the link in both the video description and the top comment below. Now let's not waste any more time and jump right into the details. Let's start by delving into the insights shared by our first reviewer.
This reviewer starts by clarifying that they are not a gamer, but a remote worker who was looking for a productivity upgrade. After researching ultra-wide displays, they decided one would be a better solution than the dual TV setup they were using, primarily to eliminate the distracting bezel between screens. Once set up, this monitor was an immediate game changer for their workflow. The seamless, expansive screen space was a significant improvement, and the subtle curve proved to be a genuine productivity benefit, allowing them to see more of the screen in their peripheral vision with less head turning. The jump in resolution and refresh rate from their old setup was also a massive plus for both their Windows work laptop and their personal Linux desktop. However, our reviewer, while tech-savvy, ran into a learning curve specific to this type of display. Their standard work laptop and older personal computer's graphics hardware couldn't natively support the monitor's full aspect ratio. Connecting with a single cable resulted in a stretched, unusable image. The solution was to use the monitor's built-in picture-by-picture mode, which cleverly tricks the computer into seeing two separate screens side by side on the single panel. While the on-screen menu was a bit clunky, this feature worked perfectly. The final hurdle was connecting both computers, which now each required two inputs. This led to the purchase of a KVM switch to easily toggle between the two systems using the monitor's available ports. Despite the initial setup challenges, this client is now extremely pleased with the result. They feel the monitor serves its purpose well and is even future-proof for when they eventually upgrade their computer hardware.
Alright, let's find out what our next reviewer has to share.
This reviewer found the expansive screen on this monitor to be a major highlight, noting that its visual quality is indistinguishable from a premium model they used previously. For anyone in IT or programming, our reviewer highly recommends this size and aspect ratio, calling it a significant productivity booster. While the pixel density isn't groundbreaking, it's more than sufficient to be comfortable on the eyes for long work sessions. The gentle curve is another positive, as it's subtle enough to keep content at the edges of the screen perfectly legible without causing any noticeable distortion. Our reviewer did not test its performance for gaming or its professional color accuracy. Where this unit falls short is in its features, and most significantly, its firmware. The absence of high-end conveniences like Thunderbolt and pass-through charging is an acceptable trade-off for the value it offers. What proves to be a real headache is the software controlling the monitor. This client reports that the display will occasionally enter a power-saving mode and then fail to detect a signal from their laptop upon waking. Fixing this requires unplugging and reconnecting the cable, or sometimes physically power cycling the entire monitor. This problem persists even when using the included cable. The issue is compounded when trying to use multiple devices. The on-screen controls are unreliable and completely fail to switch between different inputs, forcing our reviewer to physically swap cables to change between computers. For someone who doesn't need to switch inputs often, these quirks are bearable. However, if you frequently need to manage multiple systems, you may want to invest in a different brand.
Great! Now let's see what our next reviewer has to say about their experience.
This reviewer purchased this monitor for their wife's office, and being an enthusiast with a dual monitor setup themselves, they had some high standards. After pairing this display with a fast computer, including a robust GPU and processor, the reviewer admitted to feeling a twinge of jealousy. While acknowledging that this monitor might not be the absolute best on the market, they were impressed with the overall display quality, speed, and refresh rate. The colors might not be the most vibrant, but the reviewer found it more than satisfactory. The size is definitely a highlight, and the wife is thrilled with the upgrade. Overall, the reviewer would recommend this monitor with a couple of minor caveats. The DPI inputs feel a little loose, lacking the expected firmness. Also, the stand design could be improved for better stability, especially considering the monitor's size and weight. The backlighting is a nice touch, but the arm supporting the monitor could use some reinforcement to ensure long-term durability. Despite these minor issues, the reviewer feels it was a great purchase, especially since their wife loves it. Multitasking is a breeze, and the seamlessness of multiple browser windows on the ultra-wide screen is a significant advantage. The client also highlighted how the monitor avoids a visible partition or split when using multiple windows, contrasting with their own dual monitor setup. The reviewer ended by saying that anyone who buys it will feel great with the right cables and GPU to support the resolution and speed.
That's a wrap. If you enjoyed this, drop a like and subscribe for more. Got thoughts? Let's chat in the comments. See you in the next one.